I'm convinced that we don't have a disciple-making problem at all. We have plenty of people who are making disciples who make disciples. I live in a town where there's plenty of boys who grow up without a dad and learn how to realize that men should not take responsibility for their home, and so they go and repeat it, and it's gone to the second, third, and fourth generations. We have plenty of disciple makers. The question is, what are we making disciples of? That's the question. You all are disciple makers. You will make disciples. You will make them to the second, third, and fourth generation. Every one of you, because that's how the world works. It's how God designed things to work. We learn from the imitation. We follow the example of others. We then repeat it and teach others to do the same. So the question that I think we need to ask not only is how, which has been great, and you received a lot of that, but what? What are we making disciples of? We're making them of Jesus. We know that. But my concern is sometimes what we've done in our disciple-making work is we've primarily made it a cognitive reality. We're going to teach them the truths about God so that they can tell others the truths about God. Now, we need that. We have to have our heads transformed. We're transformed by the renewing of our minds. We need new thoughts about God, so I don't want to discount that. But there's another side of it. Some people go away from cognitive understanding. They move to practical living. So they say, well, the word disciple leads us to think discipline. So if we just get people to do the spiritual disciplines, then they'll be disciples. And so we measure people in accordance to how they're doing with the spiritual disciplines. Do they read their Bible? Do they pray? Do they go to church? Do they give? If they're really serious, they fast. You know, and some meditate when they fast, and some meditate on food too much when they're fasting. But they're meditating, and so we say they need to do the disciplines, and I'm not against those. Please don't misunderstand me. But the Pharisees were amazing at the disciplines, and yet they failed to come to Jesus. So the point of the disciplines are not that they would do them, but that the disciplines would remove any barrier that's in our life that would keep us from coming to Christ. That's the point of the disciplines. We're dying to ourselves. We're putting our hope in someone else. We're having our minds renewed as we read the Word so that all that is keeping us from Jesus gets stripped away. The point of making disciples, according to Jesus, is we're making disciples of Jesus.